Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Good morning. It is Monday, November 13th. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Health officials in Maryland are investigating a stomach flu outbreak at the Shell-Shocked Oyster Festival, which was held at Fager's Island Restaurant on November 4th. There have been at least 145 people to have reported having the stomach flu after attending the event. Yet another reason I don't eat seafood. Anne Arundel County police and school officials are investigating a group out of Southern High School called Confederate Lives Matter. It's a group formed on social media, and they have been accused of harassing a student that is transgendered, posting pictures with KKK-like hoods, and other posts primarily on Snapchat threatening violence. Governor Larry Hogan is calling on Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore to step aside as allegations of sexual assault continue to pile up against Moore, calling Moore, quote, unfit for office, unquote. Hogan also called on his fellow Republicans to put pressure on Moore to withdraw from the race. This is a departure from Hogan's hands-off Washington stance during the election with President Trump. A small aircraft made an emergency landing on the off-ramp from Route 50 onto Route 665 Friday afternoon. The pilot, Christopher Curry of Odenton, and his 2 sons were the only people aboard the aircraft. There were no injuries, surprisingly, and everybody was able to walk away from it. The plane was a Socata TB2000 registered to Tipton Tampico LLC, which is a flight instructor and rental firm out of Tipton Airport. The preliminary investigation shows that Curry started to lose RPMs for reasons unknown, noticed smoke coming from the engine, and made the emergency landing. The FAA is investigating this. And speaking of planes, Spirit Airlines has launched the first international flight from BWI with a new daily route taking travelers to the warmth of Cancun, Mexico. The nonstop flights start at around $69 and range up to $515 for round-trip tickets. According to Mark Kopczak, spokesman for Spirit Airlines, the Mexican resort city is one of the airline's most requested destinations, so it's only fitting that it has become our first international destination from Chicago and BWI. We look forward to bringing more service to Cancun and other international destinations in the months ahead. Spirit Airlines is the low-cost carrier and no frills. And by no frills, we mean no frills. It was a nail-biter at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium on Saturday as Navy barely defeated SMU 43-40. It did come down to the last seconds of the game. Sophomore Malcolm Perry made his debut at quarterback. He ended up rushing for 282 yards and responsible for 4 touchdowns. And in the end, it was a tie game, 40-40. Sophomore kicker J.R. Osborne booted an 18-yard field goal just as time was expiring to lift Navy to a 43-40 win. This was on Senior Day where they recognized all the seniors of the team. With this win, Navy is 6-3, which does make them bowl eligible. We're not sure where they're going to be at this point, so stay tuned. Up next, tough game, Notre Dame. And if you haven't had enough election news, Annapolis elections, we will know by the end of the week who will be the sitting alderman for Wards 2 and Ward 8, as the absentee ballots will be officially canvassed a little bit later on tomorrow. If you're looking to park in downtown Annapolis, things just got a little bit more difficult. Starting today, they will be doing maintenance on the Noah Hillman garage, which is the Main Street garage. The top 2 levels of the garage will be closed, and the Gorman Street upper entrance will also be closed, and that's the upper entrance, which is sort of on the backside of Chicken Ruth's Deli. Other options are Gotts Court, just off of Church Circle, Knighton Garage, which is up near Lemongrass and Metropolitan, the State Garage, which is at 19 St. John Street, as well as Park Place up at the Westgate Circle. Please keep in mind that this will disrupt parking that may be available for Small Business Saturday, which will be on November 25th. Hang loose, stay tuned. We've got Kevin Chaney with sports coming up, and of course, we've got George Young with DMV Weather.
This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George from DMV Weather. Here's your Annapolis forecast for Monday, November 13th. The executive summary for today and the week ahead is this. Nice outside on the whole, but staying below average temp-wise for most, if not all of the week. For today specifically, we forecasted a target high temp on our website of 49 degrees for downtown Annapolis and 48 degrees for BWI Airport, which will make this our 7th consecutive day of below average high temps across the region, as daily average highs are still in the upper 50s. So let's see how those forecast numbers match up against the actual measurements at the end of the day, and we'll add them to our accuracy ratings, in which we are 92.78% accurate for all of 2017 and 91.11% accurate for all of our temperature forecasts in November. As for tonight, temps will get down into the 35 to 40 degree range, and then the setup for the rest of the week is fairly simple, with tons of sunshine, light winds, and temps in the 50s all the way through Friday, with lows in the 30s and 40s overnight each night, until another low pressure center and cold front move through the region with some rain Saturday and some colder temps behind it on Sunday. Okay, that's it for us today. Get our free weather app from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store by searching for DCMD VA Weather, and know you can follow us 24/7, 365 on our website at dmvweather.com or on social media via Twitter or Facebook. This is George Young of DMV Weather with your Annapolis forecast. Make it a great week, and remember, whatever the weather out there, have fun and be safe.
Hey there, this is John Fernay, and the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief is sponsored by, well, it could be you. Podcasting is a growing trend, and since launching on September 1st, we have more than 10,000 downloads of this podcast, plus thousands of listens on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. In addition to our Facebook page, All Annapolis, and our Twitter account, we distribute the Daily News Brief to Apple Podcasts, which used to be called iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and the TuneIn app that can be played on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device. We focus on local news, local weather, local events, and local sports, including high school and college. So our audience is pretty tightly targeted to the greater Annapolis area. And if you own or manage a local business, you're a likely customer. Intrigued? Well, here's something to think about. Your company could be featured on this daily podcast for less than $20 a day. Interested? Shoot me an email and let's talk. My email address is john@eyeonannapolis.net, and that's EYEONANNAPOLIS, but you already knew that, .net. Let's get together and see what we can make happen.
If you're looking for local sports, it's right here, right now, on the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief.
Hey guys, welcome to your Monday edition of Eye on Sports. I am Kevin, and we are getting right back into the Maryland High School playoff action, starting Friday night with varsity football. Long Reach was at Chesapeake. Long Reach won the close game 27-24. Meade was at Broadneck. Broadneck wiped the floor with them 35-6. And Arundel was at North Point. North Point won 20-19. Varsity regional final for girls volleyball on Friday night, where South River was at Arundel. Arundel won 3-1. Over to varsity field hockey, where we had the 4A state championships at Washington College. South River was at Delaney, and South River won 2-1. 3A state championship for field hockey. Chesapeake was hosted by C. Milton Wright at Washington College. Chesapeake won 2-0. In varsity boys soccer, the state semifinals, Severna Park was at Bowie. Severna Park won 2-0. For girls, Broadneck was at Eleanor Roosevelt for the 4A semifinals, and Broadneck won 4-0. The Washington Redskins lost to Minnesota 30-38, and that's all I got for you. I am Kevin. This has been your Eye on Sports.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at noon. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.